Hello students, from today I'll be starting with revision lecture series. I'm starting with unit number 4. Unit number 4 is concerned with 3 layers of OSI reference model, that are transport layer, session layer and presentation layer. So today we'll discuss about transport layer. We'll have an introduction of transport layer first, and then we'll be discussing about the design issues related with transport layer. So as is visible on the screen, the transport layer is actually the fourth layer from the bottom in the OSI reference model, and it is responsible for process to process delivery. There can be 3 types of deliveries. One can be node to node, one can be host to host, and third one is process to process. And the 3 different layers of OSI reference model are responsible for these 3 types of deliveries respectively. For node to node, data link layer is responsible. For host to host delivery, network layer is responsible. And for process to process delivery, the transport layer is responsible, that we are talking about right now. You can see the representation of these 3 types of deliveries in this diagram as well. The nodes can be the different machines in between the two host, source and destination. These machines can be routers. So if there is a delivery from a machine to a router, it is a node to node one. If there is a delivery from source host to destination host, this is a host to host delivery. If there is a delivery of data from one of the processes residing on the source host to one of the processes residing on the destination host, is called process to process delivery, and transport layer is actually responsible for this third type of delivery, that is process to process delivery. Transport layer provides 2 types of services. One is connectionless versus connection oriented service. In connectionless service, there is no connection established beforehand. Packets gets transferred, or the transport layer data units gets transferred independently. There is no need to establish a connection in this sort of service. But as against to this, in connection oriented service, first a connection is established, and through that dedicated connection all the data transfer takes place. The second type of service is reliable versus unreliable. If the transport layer itself is providing the flow and error control, that means we are connected with a protocol at the transport layer which is reliable. If these 2 types of services are not provided by the transport layer, so that means we are having an unreliable type of service, where we cannot say something about the delivery of data, whether it will reach to the destination or not. The different design issues related with transport layer are connection management, addressing, data transfer, multiplexing and demultiplexing, flow control, error control and congestion control. Transport layer is responsible for establishing a connection between the 2 processes residing on the 2 different hosts. Then to maintain that connection for the entire duration of data transfer. Once the connection is over, transport layer is responsible for releasing that connection. But mind it, this design issue is applicable if you are having a connection oriented service. Addressing, transport layer is responsible for addressing as well. But addressing in the case of transport layer is connected with port numbers, because as we discussed earlier, transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery, and these processes are identified by an address called port number. Each and every process has its own unique port number. Transport layer is responsible for the data to be transferred from one process to another process. As there can be multiple processes on source, there can be multiple processes on destination. So transport layer is responsible for multiplexing and demultiplexing as well. At the source end, from one of the processes, data gets transferred through one transport layer, so there is a need of multiplexing because there is a many to one relationship. At the destination end, there is one transport layer that will provide service to one of the processes on the destination host, so there is a one to many relationship, so we require a demultiplexing operation. Transport layer is responsible for flow control. Transport layer governs and controls that only that much data is transferred which a receiver can handle. We can't overwhelm receiver with enormous amount of data. Transport layer is responsible for error control as well. Errors can be due to several reasons. Transport layer provides a service to control these errors. Last one is congestion control. If there is a congestion, transport layer is responsible for implementing a congestion control algorithm to control congestion if there is any. Thank you.